Time I saw Veroja there. So definitely a team on the rise, but like you mentioned, Sharq Squad also a newcomer, not in their players because they do have, they have Gohan who was previously with Ivory, they have Yona on that mid lane, previous players from Interactive Philippines like Sajiri. So it does seem like they have quite the lineup, even Jollibee on the support role. It will be interesting to see them clash against Veroja. They did lose to Veroja 2-1 in the group stage, but it went to that third game. Anything can happen. Sharq Squad, they get their chance for revenge right now. But speaking of revenge, what do you make out? What do you think of this draw so far? Because Sharq Squad, I mean, they have some super strong front line, and Veroja, they'll actually come out with the Viper.
Yeah, it's a great. I like the draft from Sharq Squad with the Bezo back and Underlord core. They have two beefy frontliner now, which is gonna make AA life way easier. So far, there's only one hero that could like close the gap to assassin the Spirit Breaker, to assassin the AA so far, which is the Spirit Breaker. And I also like the Viper pick a lot. That counter the Bezo back a lot with the Viper Strike. That's one of the good spell to break the Bezo back. Also, the hero lane well against the Underlord if they want to put Viper into the safe lane. So far, based on the draft, I can't tell which team has a better draft yet, but I love the Sharq Squad heroes.
And Veroja, they ban out the sniper, so it does suggest that this Viper is going to be towards that mid lane. You don't want to play into a sniper if you're the Viper. Sharq Squad, though, they can pick up the Lina. That is a hero that Yona does like to play. That is another one of those heroes that does well against that Viper. But again, any hero that you pick up like that, Lina, sniper, heroes that traditionally are safer against the Viper, you're still going to be vulnerable from that charge coming in from the Spirit Breaker.
Yeah. And here they ban out the Ursa. It's one of the most picked hero in the previous series when they're playing against each other. One of the carry that Veroja pick it a lot for CJ.
10 seconds remaining.
And it's good against a beefy hero because of the passive. It's also known as the tank killer. So that's one of the best ban for Sharq squad. And here after this wiper pick and also the ban from like you mentioned, the sniper ban, they might want to pick another safe lane hero here that could lane against Underlord or maybe Beastback.
What do you think about the Slark right now? Or maybe even Veroja can also go for the Meepo towards their safe lane. Doesn't do well against the Underlord, of course. And I mean, there's even a bit of a question on how the Meepo scales against the Underlord, because I think the Underlord with that atrophy aura is pretty strong against that Meepo, especially with the cleave coming in too. But
Yeah.
the Meepo has always been a hero for Veroja to play, but it will not be the Meepo. It will be the Kes for CJ, and
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much fine for against the Underlord.
Yeah, Case is pretty good. It's a pretty strong laner, so it's gonna do well against most of the matchup if he has a good support in the lane. And I'm still not sure who's the
5 seconds remaining.
position 5 for Veroja yet. Might be Lago, might be Enigma.
You may now
Oh,
select
last
your
pick.
heroes.
Tinker. Wow, I see some Tinker in Dream League, the recent Dream League, and the hero, it looks pretty broken, especially when Nothing to Say is playing the hero. But this time it's gonna be Yona playing the Tinker this game.
I believe we've seen Jonas Tinker before, but also the fact of the matter is you have the Tinker against the Kez. I think Tinker is one of those few heroes that is really good against the Kez with that laser coming in. At least until, of course, you have that BKB. Kez is also one of those heroes that doesn't truly like to make that nullifier. But you do have a Viper who I suppose can go for it. What do you like? Is this supposed to be the black hole and the raptor dance combo? Like, what exactly is the idea from Veroja? I get the individual pick-off potential that they have with all of their heroes, but how does their lineup come in together for those team fights?
It's gonna be hard for Veroja to get a good team fight, since there's two like beefy hero on Sharq squad with Beastback and Underlord frontlining, and it's gonna make it very easy for Tinker to perform in the team fight. He just killed everything in sight, and he also can buff his core with the defense metric, and there's no like hard counter to the Tinker. There's no like assassin type of hero on Veroja to like shut down the backliner like Tinker and AA. Just the Spirit Breaker is not enough to shut down the backline hero. So kind of worry for the Veroja team fight right now. Especially like Tinker in the early game, it's very easy for this hero to get farm.
We'll see how. I mean, in the end, I don't think Tinker is going to be one of those heroes that does well against the Viper in the lane. So, and again, very vulnerable against that Spirit Breaker. So we'll see how exactly Yona survives here. Even the supports from the side of Sharq squad, they do have that Tusk snowball, but the Ancient Aberration doesn't provide any kind of defensibility, especially in the laning phase. I don't think that Tusk can be used ideally in that position. The Tusk is an aggressive hero in the laning phase, even though you do have that defensive toolkit. But it is definitely towards that mid lane where you might have, I think, the biggest potential for space to be made for the teams itself.
Yeah. The thing about Tinker is the hero just push out wave. Once he hit level 6, he can just jungle, and then he'll come out with Dagger and Kaya in by 12 minutes or something. And it's not that easy to punish the hero. And once he complete the Sage and Kaya, he will have unlimited mana, and it's gonna be very hard for to deal with that. And here, Messi of First Blood.
Cassie, yeah, I think he might just be dead. Juju skills up the charge. Cassie, he's being body blocked, but throws out a great set of shards, and that might just be enough to make his escape. It's gonna be a long-winded escape, though. But he seems to have the boots of speed. We are seeing this quite a few times at Lunar Snake Trophy, and he will make it out. The boots of speed actually coming in handy this time, Yuhang.
Yeah, so It's a good item on post for Tusk. So that you could go for the lane pulling, and now Bizarre might struggle a little bit, but he survived, he didn't get for first blood, that's better. And also interesting, we see interesting to see CJ is playing the support Enigma and Buhao is playing the case carry.
Wait, what is... That is certainly... That wasn't on my bingo cards for 2026. You know, quite a lot have been happening this year. But CJ playing the support is definitely an interesting decision. What do you think is going on behind the scenes here? Where, you know, you have... I mean, Buhao has always been the support. CJ has always been the carry.
Maybe it's just a misclick and they are shy to ask for a repick.
I remember that happened one time, right? I believe it was your show or some other team. They accidentally picked up a different heroes. And that one was interesting. But I mean, I suppose we'll see just how good CJ is on the Enigma and just how good Buhao is on the carry. But it will definitely be interesting. But taking...
But so far, I can see Pixel back. I mean, like Sharq squad, they got the favorable lane. They want to put the Pixel back into the Enigma lane so that the sprayer could kill all the Eidolon babies. So far, they're getting the favorable matchup here. But the case is too strong in the lane. I think he outlaned the Pixel back here. It's gonna be hard for Aizen a little bit.
I mean, once you do have some levels coming up for Cassie, maybe with the tag team, you can make something happen on the Kaz. Because Enigma support is also kind of weak, especially against that kind of matchup. But as I say that, the Enigma support will be the one to draw first blood. Even though CJ isn't playing the carry, he's still coming in with that high impact.
Yeah. CJ is, I think, currently ranked, I'm not sure how much, maybe top 20? Yeah, he has no problem playing Enigma support too.
Now, on this mid lane, we see Pota struggling. I mean, he was doing well until Yona got to his bottle. And I don't think the Viper is going to be going for the bottle. And with the level 2 in the laser and Pota this low, it does seem like the Tinker is probably just going to have a pretty decent time. And in fact, it's going to be Pota who'll get pushed back.
I also love that one value point on their defense metric. And that's going to help him to dispel the poison attack. That one value point. Normally we don't see this. Tinker just max out the Q and W. He want to push out the lane and farm. But that one point against Viper, that's going to help him to dispel the poison stack, the poison attack from Pota 2. That's a very smart skill build from Yona.
Yeah, and it does seem like, I mean, with that defense matrix, with that basic dispel, Yuna will be doing fine. Now, we did speak about the potential for a rotation. I think it is going to create pressure on Veroja to actually make that happen, because you can't come out with a Viper pick and also lose the lane. I mean, sure, they're not losing the lane, but it's still not even. You do have Cassie coming in, holding the Viper inside of the shards. That will be another kill happening on the board, but it will be for Sharq squad instead. Juju is also coming in for the charge. I'm not really too sure why he committed to the full charge there. Yona has the laser coming up in about 5 seconds, but they're both so low that they can't dive the tower. Overall, it's just going to be the one kill on the Viper, but I think that Sharq squad is still going to be happy with that result.
Yeah, good rotation coming from Tusk, and getting a kill for Tinker in the lane is going to help him secure earlier level 6 than the Viper. And we expect this Viper pick to dominate the lane, but now it looks like Yona's the one that's winning. And this is not what we expect here.
Juju is coming in with a mid lane charge. This is never going to work out. Even if you didn't have the Tinker going back, just the fact that the Spirit Breaker would have been visible from afar, the Tinker could have gone back. But what about this safe lane from the side of Sharq squad? They have the Underlord. This is something that they played with. I think this is something that quite a few teams have actually tried at Lunar Snake Trophy, just coming out with this Underlord carry. The first time I saw this was in a European tournament in CCT, when you did have teams going for it. But topside, Cassie, he will get traded out for CJ. Both supports having fallen down, but it's going to be Gohan who also falls. Buhao will end up with a double kill. And I just noticed, Yuheng, it's Gohan on the offlane role.
Yeah, they're trying to get a good matchup. They want to put the Beetle back in the Enigma lane, and so that they could use the spray from the Beetle back to kill the babies, to get the extra goal to have a better matchup. Bottom, we might see a kill here.
Oh, the Underlord Gohan, or rather Acroman Youngji held in place, just needs, well, there's the bash coming in. I would imagine they needed a few more last hits, but who needs last hits when you have Juju with the good Juju? But
Yeah.
so much for the good lane, right? Because, I mean, Buhao is 2-0-1. Also has the most amount of CS in the game. He also got the first
Yeah.
blood.
Only the mid lane struggling so far for Veroja. On the side lane, Veroja they are owning. Oh,
And it doesn't seem
Jollibee.
like the ownage is going to stop anytime soon. Another charge comes in. It will clip Young Ji, push him aside as they take apart that ancient apparition. I mean, Veroja are playing this very fast, and with the fact that the safe lane for Sharq Squad is collapsing, and the safe lane for Veroja is quite honestly doing phenomenal, this is going to put a lot of pressure on that Tinker. He's the only one that's been having a good time here.
Yeah, they're gonna have a very slow timing. Should be around maybe mid game, around 15 or to 40 minutes. That maybe Tinker show up to some fight to help the team to get some advantage back. Now he just need to farm his item. Tinker can't really help the side lane for now, even he got a good power rune. Yeah,
Might get to that
So
Gaia very soon. Almost has it, in fact, with a few more camps. He's farming up the Martial Machines. Needs to be careful because you did have Juju plant down this Observer Ward, so they're going to be keeping their eye out for the Tinker. Cassie is going to come in for the D ward. They did see the Spirit Breaker come in because they had an Observer Ward in the jungle. So, I don't believe Juju was there in a Smoke of Deceit. Oh, wow.
smart warding from the support. You realize they need to protect all this area for the Tinker to farm safely. It's very easy to read the Tinker farming pattern because usually he want to farm at some area that he could march to hit both neutral camp, and that's the war spot they need to check.
CJ it'll be interesting to see how much CJ actually plays a support role here, because right now he is farming up the jungle. And they've left Vomi alone, but the Largo really isn't struggling. I think Largo is one of those heroes that can survive the laning phase alone. He has that basic Dispel on himself, which is going to come in handy against that laser. I think, you know, just Dispel away the laser, especially if it's planted down on your Kez or if it's planted down on your Viper. Disable the mischance, increase the tempo in some of those fights. But Vomi, he picks up his first component of that Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah. So both team just farming now, and we might see a very quiet 9 to maybe 13 minutes. We might not see any action on the map during this period. Because both teams they need to farm, and both teams they need the item in order to be strong. And Viper bought a Book of Travel. Maybe they can try to make some move to the bottom lane to get the bottom tier 1 tower.
What do you think about the Boots of Travel this early on the Viper?
Oh, hold that thought. Meanwhile, in the jungle.
Yeah, it does seem a bit of jungle shenanigans happening. Jollibee does go down. There's also a charge coming on towards Cassie, but he has that snowball save. The only problem is, the rest of Veroja are here. They will commit to that Viper strike, and the defense matrix is actually going to bring the Tinker in. Frog Stomp is going to be enough to cancel out that teleport. Vomi licking the Tinker into his Frog Stomp certainly was necessary at that point to disable that Tinker's teleport. But again, Veroja, they come out ahead with the 2 kills. All you really sacrifice with a Spirit Breaker, and he is the ultimate hero to sacrifice.
Yeah, that was really close. I think it's like less than 0.5 seconds. You're about to TP back to the base, but that stun from Enigma and the stun from Largo. Oh, black hole down there.
Youngji is dead. That's the first black hole being committed. CJ did not even think twice about that. You are going to commit it, especially if you're just a position 5. And especially if you're being able to take down the safe laner. It's arguable that, you know, Youngji isn't the carry here. It's still going to be the Bristleback. It's just on a different lane. But quite frankly, these side lanes, they have completely crumbled. And even Yona, right, who was the only one doing super well, he also went down. So despite it though, you only have 1,000 net worth advantage in favor of Veroja, but I do think that they are significantly ahead, at least as far as the current state of the game goes.
Yeah, I like all this pick off, all this movement from Veroja. Getting all this kill is gonna delay the item timing on the Radiant hero, and maybe they can try to break some tower here to get some bigger map control, so they will farm more than the other side.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Because I don't feel like trading farm against Tinker is a good idea now. Yeah.
Oh.
Killing Eisen top is a good move.
Yeah, Viper Strike is there. I mean, the break mechanism against that Bristleback is going to mean that Buhao doesn't even take in any damage. He's now off to a killing spree. And how exactly are you supposed to counter out these movements? Like, when you see a Spirit Breaker charge in, or when you see Pota come in with the boost of travel and finds that Viper Strike, are you just completely defenseless on the side of Sharq squad?
To be honest, it's not really, because they have two heroes that could. They have the two heroes with the teleport, global teleport. One is the Flint's Gate from the Underlord, the other one is the Tinker. And maybe they need to move around with the support. The support needs to sit behind the core and allow the other two core hero to TP in. They have their global presence to back up their core hero, and they shouldn't just getting picked off like this. And I just feel like maybe they're just not moving together, support not sitting behind at the core to protect the core enough. And I think that's why some heroes they are dying on the map.
Yeah, the heroes that are... Well, it's... the question then becomes, Yuheng, you know, as a follow-up to what you just said, can you afford your Tinker, teleporting to help out whoever is getting ganked? Because there's a chance when you do come in with that global teleportation that Veroja still come out ahead, and then you may just lose your Tinker too, because the tempo that you come in with, right? Spirit Breaker charge, the Viper Strike, even Vomi with the heals, like any lane Veroja decide to initiate on, it does seem that even in a 2-for-2, even when the numbers are matched up, Veroja have the better tempo.
Yeah, for now it looks like it. But if they fight properly, if they manage to protect the Tinker and fight inside the March, allow Tinker to cast more spell in a team fight, and I feel like it's not that hard. It's not that hard for the Radiant team to play defensively and get some kill or protect their core. Or maybe now they just want to like split up and farm, and they don't mind to get picked off. Some hero get picked off on the map as long as their win condition hero is farming, which is the Tinker.
And maybe with the Ice Blast now being online for Jollibee, that is...
Yeah,
these
maybe with the
rotations can
Ice
be better
Blast.
answered, right? So you also, you have a third global hero here. That is the Ancient Apparition. I mean, him being in the lane doesn't really matter. He can throw out his Ice Blast. And to be frank, it's his Ice Blast that is his biggest value ability. That's what they pick him for. So he can definitely come to support his team, even though if he's not physically present there. But right now, they are going to teleport towards that bot lane. They want to play with that Ice Blast. Jollibee will not be able to hold Womi back though. So these teleports not really going to do anything. CJ is still farming up in the jungle. Yuheng, he is farming the entire jungle. He'll reveal his position. He'll take out the Blink Dagger that was actually carrying was being held in by the courier. So Yona won't have that for about 2 whole minutes.
2 minutes, no Tinker Dagger. That's,
Gohan
hurts him a lot.
Oh, this is a rough game to be the Bristleback, Yuheng. He is 1-4 right now.
Yeah, you asked about the pool of travel on Viper. I think that's the almost a must item on Viper, especially if it has a good start. Getting the travel first is pretty important. Allow this hero to move around the map.
Oh no, CJ does get picked off, so that might be a bit of a case of oh yes for the side of Sharq squad. However, it is going to be a trade. It's the supports falling down, but Young G did find a recovery. You know, even he was struggling. He was 0-2 up until the point he got that kill. So finally something going the way of Sharq squad. But it's still, the lead is beginning to show there. 2,000 of a net worth advantage for the side of Veroja without even being
getting charged.
Able to take out a tower. He is just dead.
Yeah. Not sure how they see the AA. Maybe he was in the region for
There is an
in the
observer
mid
ward
lane.
towards that
Oh yeah, it's right.
jungle, so maybe the AA walked over there.
Yeah, I guess so. But I can see the Speaker, he was charging very far away. But anyway,
How do you counter out this aggression? Like I don't see Veroja slowing down anytime soon.
yeah, they're not gonna stop. They will try to find any kill opportunity they can for sure. Especially they have the Viper strike, which is pretty good to get a kill. Maybe right now the Radiant team, the Sharq squad, maybe just to play in certain area instead of holding in 3 lane, try to play in 2 lane instead. Because Beast was dying top because he was very far away, close to the top tier 1 dire tower. And some heroes, they are dying in the Radiant jungle, so they're trying to play all 3 lane, and that's why they cannot protect their core. If they just focus on 2 sides of the map of the lane, maybe they can try to like get some kills in return, or maybe protect their core a little bit more. Bottom, good call.
Ice Blast is not going to land though, and you have CJ coming in for the black hole. He is going to unleash it on the Tinker as catches Jollibee as that prize as well. There's going to be a Viper Strike coming in from Pota. It's not towards that Tinker. The Viper Strike was used towards Young G, and perhaps that is going to be a mistake. Juju is trying to secure the kill and will be able to find it. Pota trying to make his way out. The shards are not going to hold him in. And Aizen is actually being body blocked by Young G himself. Frog Stomp is going to be sent out, but the pit coming in from Young G will be enough. However, it's Roshan that actually secured the kill. So, Star Sword, they have gotten nothing from this entire team fight. Gohan is going to be held in by the stuns coming in from the Enigma. Raptor Dance is going to come out from Buha, who has decided to join his team. And for Veroja, that are 4 kills they've been able to secure. And all they lost was a Viper, and that too to Roshan. Sure, they lost a Spirit Breaker too, but it doesn't matter.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, basically they only get 1 kill, which is the Spirit Breaker. And Roshan almost got a double kill in the Roach pit just now. And losing Tinker first at the start of the fight, the fight's not gonna end well for Sharq squad.
Well, I mean, they'll be able to get the Gaz, so that at least is going to end well for them. Jollibee will be the one pick to pick up the kill streak. That is a bit unfortunate. I would have imagined that Young G or Yona being able to acquire the kill would have been much better, but at least you're able to take down a core here.
Yeah, for sure, it's always better to get a kill for the core. They will get more bounty because the assist goal don't get, it's not that much if the hero don't worth a lot of gold, if the hero don't have a big kill streak. And in the last fight, they missed the Ice Blast, but this one, they managed to use it to kill the case. So if AA misses plus, Tinker die first, we all know that the fight is not going to end well. Hopefully in the next big fight, they can try to not let that happen again.
Yeah, certainly seems to be a key requirement to,
Yep.
you know, not have your heroes get picked off like that. And this is maybe a bit tricky because now you have Vomi with an Aghanim Scepter, Yuheng. This is a 16-minute Aghanim Scepter on the Largo. He's just super strong to fight unless you have that Ice Blast coming in. Like, it's just not possible. And, you know, you were talking about the Ice Blast earlier as being a good counter to heroes like the Largo, but the Largo also has a lot of movement speed. You know, that's something that can seem a bit overwhelming with him running around so fast.
Yeah, he also has the slow resistance with his ulti, which is pretty good against the Whistleback. And he also has Phase Boot instead of the Arcane. I love it. I think people realize that maybe movement speed is more valuable on the hero, on Largo, instead of the Arcane Boot. Because with the extra movement speed, he get to run around a bit more. Also get to keep himself on top of the target to deal AoE damage with the Kita. So the Phase Boot is actually better than the Arcane Boot sometimes. And now, even with the Ice Blast, it's not gonna be that easy to actually burst down the Largo. They need the extra control to follow up.
Oh, Cassie revealing his Blink Dagger, unfortunately wasn't able to hold Buhao in. Ice Blast is not going to land either. And this is, you take a look at how much farm Buhao has, Yuheng, and you know, it makes me wonder if how many carries Veroja actually have. If their supports are just posing as support players and are instead just carry players they've picked up. I mean,
Enigma?
this is insane. Enigma is going to be able to unleash that black hole towards that bot side, able to catch out that Tinker. The worst case scenario possible for Sharq Squad, as they're just gonna get ripped apart here. They will lose both Yona and Cassie, and even Youngji and Jolibee will be next on the menu. Gohan, who has teleported in, has realized he doesn't have a team to fight alongside. So he will just go back, but it is a 7,000 net worth advantage right now. And where the previous advantage didn't look so big, this is completely just overwhelming.
Yeah, that fight, that 3-man, 2-man black hole, follow up with all the damage. They almost burst down CJ, but he turned the fight with the black hole with very low amount of HP. And the rest of the team that come in and back up the Enigma and turn that fight. Kill 4 heroes, I think, in total. And it's gonna get harder soon.
Oh no, is he?
Oh wow.
You hang at 18 minutes in, Buhao is at the tier 2 tower,
Oh yeah.
taking it down solo, and also finds a solo kill on the task. He's level 16.
Wow.
Is it
Maybe
even
this-
possible to counter out this guess anymore, considering that, you know, you have a Bristleback who just has that Sanj and a Vanguard? Now, maybe able to acquire that Yasha too, if he is able to pick up the skill. CJ seems to have nowhere to really go. Yona will be the one to actually acquire it, and is close to his Aghanim Scepter, so I do see some way where they can potentially fight back when you do get to the Aghanim Scepter. But Juju, I mean, he really wants to go for it.
Just maybe just providing vision, just trying to run around, create some space, buy some info. And right now, I think Case with this far ahead, to be honest, it's kind of hard to stop him. Like Case, the hero is super broken, I feel. And also like Sharq Squad, they are not playing really good with their item timing. They're not really utilize their power spike that well. And because of that, they kept losing fight, kept getting picked off. And with this amount of net worth disadvantage, it might be harder in the mid game later for the transition.
Now, it does seem like they want to be able to acquire the Tormentor. Might be able to find it. It's actually a reverse Ice Blast being thrown onto the other side's Tormentor. Or rather, no, it's probably just towards Roshan. Yeah, it is. Roshan is actually going to be picked up by Jolibee, as the Radiant side actually gets the gold for it. They'll even throw out the voice lines, but I mean, at the end of the day, you still do get the Aegis. I doubt the Roshan gold is what teams look for. It's mostly just that Aegis, but the gold steal is still nice to have.
Yeah, 135 times 5, that's a lot. And that 3-point, all the way from downtown, Jollibee hit that Ice Blast. Yeah, getting the extra gold might be helpful. And also they got the shot too, right? 1.4k gold plus 135 times 5, that's quite a lot of net worth. There was like 7k gold just now on Veroja, but because of that Ice Blast and the shot from Tormentor, it's only down to 5,000 gold advantage on Veroja. But still, they're the one that leading the game. They're the one that in control of the game.
Yeah, it's all about that map control, especially right now,
Yep.
towards that mid game. Buhao, he's gonna get initiated upon. He has that Aegis. The rest of Veroja, they can come in, especially that Viper. It's towards that backline that Womi has found himself in a compromised position. Dominating streak actually goes the other way, and I'm not too sure about that play there, as even Buhao, his Aegis has been expended. Now, Pota still isn't coming in. He now has his teleport at the ready, but Buhao will already have been taken out. So, Veroja, they make a massive error in judgment.
Yeah, absolutely. That's another huge mistake from Veroja, because they should be the one that winning the team fight with the Aegis. But they are not playing together as a team, and Wumi running to the backline and tank the Ice Blast, but he wasn't. The hero is not strong. Argo is not strong when there's no friends around. A pick off down there.
There's going to be Young G held in place for Pota to come in, drop down the Nether Strike. The teleport is never really going to work, even without the bash.
Yeah.
And Vomi, I mean, he just do you like me personally, I find it weird seeing a Largo just leap around singing his way, like just, I mean, it's deceptively strong, right? Even as he's not attacking you, because most of the time the big threat you have against anyone that's charging in at you is their auto attacks. Is when you see them hitting you, but Vomi will never do that, and I think that makes the Largo very unique hero in that regard.
Yeah, the concept of Largo is pretty unique for sure. I think there's only like a few heroes in Dota 2 could do this, but Largo, he's playing the guitar with the scepter. He's dealing a lot of AoE damage. It's kind of like Post Nova. It's kind of like the last LD, but also it provides some buff, some spell M buff, some one speed buff, some healing buff. He got 3 options to choose with his LD. So and that's what make the hero so strong in the meta. In a team fight, if he's playing around with his team, buffing all his allies with his guitar, the team fight potential is super insane for Veroja right now. But first they need to play together. They play around with the Largo.
Speaking of, he has the Sanch and Kaya, Yuheng, so a lot of healing amplification. I think that for Sharq Squad, the biggest value that they'll have from any of their players is not going to be on the course. It is going to come down to whether or not Jolibé can land that Ice Blast.
Yeah, the Ice Blast is super crucial in the team fight. He need to connect the blast on the target he wants to kill, especially the flock, the Largo. If they didn't hit the blast on the Largo, they're not killing the flock.
And it kind of seems like these two melee cores are just designed to hold that front line. I mean, Jolibé with the Ice Blast, hold the front line with Ackerman and your Bristleback and Gohan. And the Tinker with that shrinking ray, that scepter upgrade for the laser, that's going to be all that damage.
Correct. That's the way to play this draft now for Sharq Squad. They need to position the tank at the front line, allow the Tinker and AA to cast unlimited spell at the back. If the back line got burst down or somehow get gone on first, and that's the end of the fight for Sharq Squad. Middle.
Yona actually pretty good at keeping his distance away from that black hole. It is going to be Youngji who gets picked up. But the response is coming in. I'm just not sure about that response. As Buhao, he does activate his BKB, but his BKB is not really going to do anything. He is just going to grapple away and make his way out as Gohan decides to chase with his own BKB that's not really been activated. It does come out now, and he's going forward but has no room. The Tinker was not ready, had used all of his mana. It's going to be Jolibé who also goes down. So despite of that fight looking pretty good at the start of it, it is still going to be once again just a 4-for-1.
It looks pretty okay at the start. Underlord tanked the black hole and allowed the Tinker to do a lot of damage. They almost killed Case after the BKB went out, but they overplayed that fight. They chased a bit too much, and they didn't realize the Tinker mana just ran out, and they should just wait for Tinker to reload his mana before they go for the second round. And that's one of the big mistakes from Sharq Squad in the last team fight. Not realize the Tinker mana is low.
The BKB is almost up for Vomi. So once you have these BKBs, you'll have two heroes that have them. Viper is also going for his own BKB. So all three cores from Veroja will have that BKB against that laser.
BKB is a must against the Underlord, against the Slow from Bristleback, and the Tinker. Fighting into March without BKB and laser is really hard. So BKB is a must item. If you want to win the team fight or go for the high ground push, they need a pipe or maybe a BKB. One of it.
Buhao's going for the butterfly. Do you think he needs a butterfly? Like, I would imagine the nullifier is a much stronger item right now than the butterfly. I mean, there's not exactly a whole lot of physical damage that's going to be coming out. Not exactly a lot of right clicks, but there are a lot of pits being on display. Youngji will be able to pick up the kill once again. CJ is the one who goes down, and I just want to take a look at the overall deaths of the cores here. They're not that many. I mean, CJ is the one who's gone down 5 times. That already is over like 40% of the kills the Sharq Squad have been able to acquire. As far as these cores are concerned, I mean, Buhao, Pota, and Vomi, they've all only gone down a collective 50% of the time.
Yeah. Only the support dying so far on Veroja, which is okay. And all the core, they are getting farmed and they're getting some kills. Meanwhile, when they're fighting in the middle just now, they also force out the BKB on Aizen. And I wonder what's the next move now for Veroja, because they're definitely way stronger at this moment. Maybe they are waiting for the BKB on Viper, or maybe the Butterfly on Puhao. But yeah, interesting item choice. But Butterfly is good. It's really good on like edgy hero because of the reduce of the base attack time. Increase the base attack speed or something, making the hero hit faster, especially on edgy hero. And the extra evasion might not be very good here in this game, but maybe like something like Skadi, even a Skadi or Nullifier would be better to counter the Radiant hero. But yeah, maybe Puhao just prefer the Butterfly. So Butterfly complete, and maybe they're waiting for the BKB now on Viper. One more item before they go.
High ground is always going to be very difficult. It's not
Yeah.
just the Tinker, it's also that Bristleback who can essentially just stand at that tower, just launch those cross sprays. It's also going to be Youngji with the pit with the Firestorm. How do you actually breach this high ground, especially without the Nullifier, right? You spoke about the BKB almost being up for Pota, but is that going to be enough?
So far, they have only one dispel, which is the Lago Catchy Lake, and that's one of the way to dispel the shield from Tinker. And beside that one, there's no good way to deal with the barrel or any defensive item on the Radiant hero.
You
But
also
maybe
have
with
CJ
ages,
with the BKB, so maybe just CJ
with Blink
diving
too.
in. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Blink BKB Black Hole, and if he catches... well, I mean, ideally, the Tinker should never be getting caught. Should always just be towards that backline. But there's always that awkward second or two when you are trying to put down the marches and you're going to be close to your towers when you're doing that.
Okay, good pick off. But Tusk break the smoke, so he tanked a smoke gang for the team, and right now, Sharq Squad, they're going for the counter smoke play, and Roshan is ready up. Big fight is coming.
Smoked underneath the observer ward from Veroja though, so Veroja know where Sharq Squad are, and they'll actually be able to catch them apart. It's going to be Jolibé who gets taken out first, and without your Ice Blast, you're just going to have to get back. But how far can you possibly run? It's going to be Gohan who'll try to stack up against that Kez, but needs to create some space because Youngji has already gone down. Womi chasing after the Bristleback. It is a Bristleback versus a Frog, essentially, but this Frog fights pretty hard. It is going to be the Tusk 2 who will go down, back-to-back deaths for him. And it just seems like every single time Veroja charging at you, you just have to kind of get back. I mean, these outside the base fights for Sharq Squad are never going to go their way.
Yeah, you have a really good point. All this fight outside of the base is really hard for Sharq Squad. Especially they need to like watch in the jungle when they have no clear vision. They always need to watch out the Enigma coming from which angle. They need to worry about the black hole. They need to position themselves. And also like Puhao just running at the front line and kill a hero in less than 3-2 seconds. You can see just now AA just get burst down in like half second. The damage output from Case is insanely high right now. And maybe they can just pray for like just hope for the high ground fight. Because I don't really see a way for them for Sharq Squad to win a fight outside of the high ground right now. But with the Aegis on the hand of Veroja, might be harder to even on the high ground.
Gohan
Aizen.
is gonna get a hit by that Nether Strike, activates his BKB with the rest of Veroja. They are in place. Unfortunately, Veroja will lose their Spirit Breaker, but it's gonna be Pota who will Hurricane Pike himself towards that high ground position, will be able to take out Youngji, as it's Womi also going down. It's the Kaz who's fallen, so this fight isn't going too well, but it's gonna be CJ who coming with that black hole, and Puhao, he has the position to take out that Tinker. Yona wants to make it through towards his own side of the map, unfortunately will not be able to. It will be the 3 kills for Veroja, but they did have to give up their Aegis.
Really good for stuff from Pota to force out to the high ground, get a kill on the Underlord, provide the vision for the team, and that black hole from CJ is on point. He catched the best hero, which is the Tinker. And if Tinker got caught in the team fight, I think the team fight just GG for Sharq squad. He does have buyback just now. Oh, he spent some gold for something. But yeah, I guess it's the gold scepter. And right now, a minute without Tinker, Veroja should be able to take down at least 1 or 2 tower here on the top lane.
The question is, I mean, is it worth it to give up your Aegis outside of the high ground? Because ideally you would want it for the siege.
Yeah, the other scenario, of course, is Viper.
Quota. Again,
Stop
Hurricane Pike will mean that he doesn't get hit by that Ice Blast, and it's a great Raptor Dance. No, he got sent up into the air by the Yules. However, it is going to be the Bristleback who still takes in quite a bit of damage, will just tick out to the overtime DPS. It will be Pota's life in exchange though, so at the end of the day, that is going to be enough to deter the push away. So again, you know, Yuheng, I keep coming back to the question, for Veroja, sure, you're getting these skills, you're getting the better exchanges, even in terms of numbers, even your Kez is the one picking up all of these skills, but is it good enough that you know, considering you lose your Aegis outside the base, you lose your Viper in a scenario where the Tinker was down for about a minute, you could have maybe gone for another tower. So these exchanges, they're not looking super clean.
Yeah, you are right. And I totally agree with your point. They're not breaking the high ground with the Aegis, they're only getting some kills, but all this here they will respawn. And when they respawn, they are able to hold the high ground again. If they manage to hold the game, Tinker is one of the best late game hero, and they also have really strong high ground defense, like you mentioned just now. Tinker, Underlord, and even AA with the Ice Vortex placing on the high ground is very easy for him to do damage and defend. So it's a game
I
keep
didn't
going
even
with it.
consider that the Ice Vortex increased magical damage 25% coupled up with that Firestorm from the Underlord. The creep waves.
And the March. Yeah.
And the March, yeah. I mean, the creep waves, they're not going to be there for, you know, past that 1 second of a window.
Yeah, so they have strong high ground defense. If the hero don't die, they can just hold the high ground whenever, as long as they want, unless they have the banner or something. I'm not sure if they have it. Let me check.
Even the Ice
they don't
Shards
have
from the
it.
Tusk is overtime DPS. 85 is significant for the creep wave. So, you know, they got the shard. The banner, you're right. Where is the banner? I'm trying to find
I
it.
don't see the banner. They need the
It's in the
banner.
pit. It's in the pit, Yuheng.
Oh,
They
wait.
never picked up the banner.
Oh,
It's still there.
Yeah, I saw it now. Oh no.
Well,
They need the banner in order to counter all those things that we mentioned, all those magical damage, all the high ground defense potential. They need the banner, and then they need to put the Viper at the front line, or maybe the case to hit the tower. That's the
Buhao,
way
is he
to
gonna
break
go?
high ground.
No, he's
Oh.
not going there. Oh no, he will. No, he's not. He's not. The banner will just be there. It will stay in place.
Okay. Even Veroja, they're not breaking in the high ground. They're not able to touch the high ground for now, but still they generate more gold than Sharq squad right now at this moment. They're having bigger map to play, and all their heroes they're getting more farm on the map, and maybe eventually they are with maybe 20k gold lead, they are able to break high ground, but still it's still a risky, still a very hard high ground to siege against all these radiant strong high ground heroes. But we'll see. Maybe they can wait for the next Roshan. Yeah, it might be a long game.
Yeah, and if it goes long, like you mentioned, Tinker being one of the best heroes for that late game, the question is, how does a Bristleback scale against the Kez? Does he even scale?
It's okay. There's only one. Oh wait, Largo.
Largo is pretty much dead. I mean, although as I said that,
Oh,
Vomi
the Underlord.
deactivates that BKB and is able to make it quite the bit of distance, but Gohan does have those quill sprays. The only problem is Vomi is one slippery fellow. He's trying to make his way out as the Ice Blast wears out. So Vomi is going to stay alive at the end of it. It's actually going to be the caster of the Ice Blast, Cholibe, picked apart.
Yeah, I think it's the healing and the W ability on the Largo ulti, the slow resistance, and the movement speed buff. It was, let me check how many percent. It's wait, 90%? 90% slow resistance. That's a lot. against Beastleback, I think that's the reason why he survived. Is that 90%?
That is nine.
That's
That
a-
is the 9-0.
That's a lot.
That is
90%.
Yes. That is.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably the highest slow resistance spell or ability even through an item in the game, like by a significant margin. Like the only thing I can think of as far as slow resistance goes is the Stun Yasha that you have. You know, the 25% or the 20% that you get from that.
Yeah. He also has the extra 25% slow resistance from the Kaya Sage. So maybe that's why he survived in that fight against the Beastleback. Because the glue from the Beastleback is not going to do anything to Largo.
Tower is under attack.
Wow.
Shark Squad, they're going to go in for another smoke.
Okay, I like this move. They
Well-
want to be active.
It's well, I
Oh,
mean,
no.
their smoke just
Oh yeah. Just can't break my case.
I mean, they don't have any vision outside of their base. Where exactly are they going to go with the smoke?
Yeah, I mean maybe that's why this is why they're small. Because they want to get vision out there. But
They do
let's
have
hope
that
that
gem,
break.
so I suppose the idea is there to be opening up space around the map, but no observer wards on their
Isaac.
side. He's gonna get caught, but
Yeah.
maybe able to take CJ out first. Now that needs to be careful because CJ, he has that black hole. Will just drop it down on towards Gohan, as even the Tinker is going to be in trouble. Buhao knows who the real target is going to be able to take apart Yona, activates his own BKB. Snowball Safe is going to be there, at least for the momentary while, but in the end, it will be the entirety of Shark Squad who are just going to get ripped apart.
Oh.
Cassie falls down too, and I mean, this is again a 4-for-1 exchange. It kind of feels like this is just a recurrent pattern here, Yuheng, where you take a fight
Yeah.
outside of your base, you only get the one support, but you lose your entire lineup.
I feel like they might have higher chance if they drag the fight into the Radiant Triangle because they have an observer ward there. Okay, they need all the buyback they can now to hold this high ground push.
They do use the buyback on the Tinker. Cassie has the use scepter, the self-use to keep himself alive, and will... Oh no, I mean, look at that Largo just run around.
Yeah.
It is just impossible. Oh no, the Tinker, he is super low on his HP. Yona needs to play it safe, even though you may want to go for a kill on Buhao. He goes for it once more, as Buhao tried to turn it around, but wasn't able to pick up the kill. And in fact, Yona will be able to push back Womi
1v1.
and take him down with another laser coming in. Frog Stomp is not gonna help Womi as he tries to leap around the fight, trying to make his way out, but I think he's gonna get taken out. Another laser comes in. That is a successful defense, but it was at the cost of a Tinker's buyback.
Okay, it's a good defense, but it costs Tinker buyback, like you say. So right now, Veroja, they have clear winning condition. If they kill the Tinker one more time, if they drop the black hole on the Tinker one more time, that should be able to end the game. And Roshan also just respawn. So the best move for Shark Squad is to get the Aegis before like Case respawn. They need to go to the Roche pit right now, scout the Roshan, call everyone there, get the Aegis, and maybe secure it for the Tinker or one of their core, and then maybe they have a chance to recover from this game.
I'm not sure exactly why Gohan is so
no.
far away from his base. Especially when he doesn't have that BKB. I mean, or rather that teleport. He has that BKB, will be able to activate it. And with Yona, maybe they're even able to take out Pota. However, the BKB comes in as the Ice Blast was going to arrive. It is going to be Yona now outside of his base. Juju with the bash is able to hold Yona back from his teleport, but Juju doesn't have the support nearby. It is going to be the Enigma coming. CJ, he's looking for that black hole, unable to really find a target. They don't have the Kez or Vomi, so they don't have the majority of their damage coming in. CJ will drop down that black hole. It will actually catch Young G, but there's no real follow-up coming in. That is the big problem for Veroja, and CJ, he's going to get taken out. Pota as well as Buhao are now in, but the question is, how will Veroja approach this fight? It's going to be an Ice Blast coming in as Buhao, he jumps forward and is able to wipe out both supports and now wants to take out that Tinker, who does have that Ghost Scepter and should be able to make his escape. So for the first time, or rather, no, not even that, Yuheng, Gohan bought back. Why? Oh, no. Just when I thought things might have been going Shark Squad's way, that buyback from the Bristleback doesn't help them.
Yeah, it's kind of wasted. So two big core hero. I think 3 hero now. Tinker, Bishopback, and Toss. All 3 of them. They have no buyback on Sharq squad, and they got the Aegis on Poda too. Who I'm not sure how they can defend this one. In the last fight, we can see Tinker is an insane strong hero in the late game if he has someone to frontline for him. Like Bishopback is tanking all the spell, baiting Veroja hero, and Tinker just do all the damage he can to burst down the target. And he also not getting focused by the Enigma. Enigma was trying to cast his Black Hole on the Tinker. He almost has a second Black Hole ready on 4 hero, but he has no mana just now in the last fight. Poda 2 might get caught.
Well, I mean, he's not really going with the teleport, and now no longer has the space to actually go for the TP. Vomi is going to come in, and well, Aegis once more being taken out outside of the base here. But Pota does come in with the respawn. Unfortunately, has no BKB, so Gohan will actually blink forward on top of that Viper to take him out. But it's the Tinker who gets caught with that Black Hole.
Wow,
CJ able to come in as the playmaker, and that is going to be a Tinker dead for about 120 seconds, and it's the Viper who actually buys back. So it seems like Sharq squad played into Veroja's hands.
Yeah. No Tinker for 100 seconds.
And it's still Vomi. He's going on forward towards that front line. He might just be able to push the Bristleback all the way into that fountain, but eats an Ice Blast, a very anticlimactic end to the frog there.
But it's still kind of hard to stop this push. Viper with a shot upgrade on the poison attack is gonna be very easy to siege all this high ground building. Oh, Bishopback with the blink.
Wants to go forward. Buhao, oh no, he'll jump in with the grapple. Has that Raptor Dance, will just push all of these 2 big tanky cores back to their fountain, and Gohan can't chase that Kez. At the same time, he is going to attempt to do so. It's going to be the Kez actually falling down. Nether Strike comes down though on top of that Underlord. And in the meantime, Buhao will actually buy back because they simply know that there's no buyback on that Bristleback, no buyback on that Tinker. And that should just be the game here. Mega Creeps will be acquired. There's no way Sharq squad come back from this. Not with CJ coming once more with that Black Hole. This is an Enigma support that is backing an Aghanim Scepter and a Refresher. He does end up going down, but still, I mean, this is pretty much nearly a done and dusted game.
Tinker respawn in 20 seconds. If they don't end the game here, maybe they need to play another 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to finish if you don't end it right now, but as I say that, Jollibee, without a buyback available, has also gone down, but 10 more seconds for the Tinker and you can push Veroja back. Zabuhao, he goes in with the Raptor Dance. Unfortunately, the Ghost Scepter will just absorb the majority of it. Buhao did use that Refresher Shard, so has another Raptor Dance, but it's going to be Yona coming in with an Ethereal Blade, giving that Ethereal State to Young G, making sure that the Underlord stays safe against that Raptor Dance. Very well played by Yona, but you know, do you think Sharq squad can actually come back after Mega Creeps?
There's a silver lining hope for sure for Sharq squad, because Tinker is a miracle kind of hero. There's a possibility Tinker might just like kill everyone in the team fight if he's not getting focused. So I cannot say 0% chance. And but they need to be careful because they are dealing with the Mega Creep, and if they fight outside of the high ground, they also need to manage the creep wave that it's gonna keep pushing from the Dire side. It's not gonna be easy.
Not to mention, you have both banners up. They never drop down a banner. From there's one on Vomi, there's one on Buhao.
Banner is really important if you want to push high ground. Also, because of the recent buff, making the banner become bigger radius, and also require more hits to destroy as the game go later. If they get the later Roshan, the banner becomes stronger.
And that's very interesting because Vomi has the level 1 banner, and Buhao has a level 2 banner. So it's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Mostly because I don't think I've ever seen a team forget to take the banner. But I suppose it can happen to the best of us. Because these are, I mean, to be frank, these are the best. You know, you spoke about it in the draft phase. CJ top 20 in Southeast Asia. Uh, a lot of these other players also probably just the whole lobby is top 100.
Yeah. I'm thinking of what else Sharq Squad can do to combat into this game. Maybe some surprise play with the Fiend's Gate into a backdoor, but I don't see the potential yet from Sharq Squad. They don't have the building damage to win the game.
I mean, every single item they have gotten up to this point has just been designed to survive. They don't have a single aggressive item on their lineup.
Yeah, maybe survive is the thing that they can do now for Sharq Squad. Holding the high ground, buying time, try to maybe wait for the buybacks to off cooldown again. Maybe there's a chance they can hold. Okay, smoke play.
Oh,
From Sharq Squad, they found someone. Ooh,
they did
that's a good one.
find the Enigma. He will get taken out. Will actually go down.
Yeah, that's a good takeoff. They use the ice pass for the Enigma kill. It's worth it.
So 90 seconds, no Enigma, and there are a couple of buybacks that you would want to ideally wait for on the side of Veroja too, right? The Viper and CJ both, or sorry, Viper and the Kez both do not have a buyback. In fact, not many heroes in the entire game have a buyback. Only the Spirit Breaker and the Toss do. The Ancient Apparition will be lost without a buyback, so no Ice Blast being available from Jolibe. It's going to be Tinker nullified down. He has that BKB, should be able to make his way back to the fountain, even if it is at the edge of his life. It's the rest of their lineup, though, that is going to be in massive trouble. Young G does manage to make it back too, but with that charge coming in from Juju, that is going to be a dead Tinker and a dead Underlord. And in the end, it does seem like Veroja will be able to acquire this game, as Youngji will call GG. As Pota and the rest of Veroja dive that fountain, they will come out with a very strong and convincing game number 1 win.
And they drop the banner in front of their base. And not using it to push. Veroja, they are having fun and they're really enjoying playing this game, putting CJ on the position 5 Enigma, and they tell us that they just want to like have fun in this game. But they perform really well with the Case and Viper, Largo, this 3 core hero. They're really good in this meta, and they just show us how good is the hero on their hand. And can tell they are maybe one level ahead. I mean, one class, one level ahead of team Sharq Squad right now with this performance.
Well, that is going to be, you know, Sharq Squad, you know, we were talking about this before the game started. Sharq Squad have some pretty good players by their side. So,
yeah.
Are Veroja truly one level ahead from this game? Certainly does seem to be the case. I mean, they won both of the side lanes there. Yona may have gotten 1 kill, but as soon as that laning phase, or rather nearing the end of the laning phase, they were even able to take apart that Tinker. So Veroja, quite frankly, they got everything that they wanted, apart from maybe the Tormentors, which are a small objective they did trade. You know, they didn't even seem interested in that. So can Sharq Squad actually bite back against Veroja and take them to a game number 3? It's going to be tough, but certainly possible for a team like that. But we won't really know until the game plays out, and that will be a question only time will answer. We will be taking a short break, but we will be resuming with Lunar Snake Trophy, so make sure to tune back in about a few minutes, and we will see you then. wipe out anyone he wants to with his Aghanims and Blink.
Yeah, Beastmaster in this current meta is really strong, especially if he hits his item timing like this early. It's a hero that could like 1v5 with the Blink and BKB. He can just jump in and kill anyone. Don't have to worry about taking so much damage from anyone because he's just heal back up with the Drama Slump. And it's definitely a very strong hero right now in this meta, especially in the mid game. If he hit the item timing, the BKB then Blink, maybe they need to like try to gank Beastmaster once or twice to delay his item timing right now.
Both supports also being taken out by Veroja just now, or rather a minute ago.
Oh,
and oh no, Cassie, he just respawned. He is going to be able to pop the egg though, but I have a feeling that Veroja are going to be more than happy at that first egg being wasted.
Oh, X-Mark again?
I don't think they're going to go for him.
Yeah, that's too far away from the follow-up. Okay,
Blade Mill is up for Pota, so now if you're a Viper, do you even want to use that Viper Strike on Pota, considering he can just use that Blade Mill and activate it?
Bottom
Side is going to be Stampede enabled that will allow the Centaur to run away, but I have a feeling that maybe he should have just held his position. I mean, Buhao, he's using this focus fire on the Centaur, and this time around he didn't even have the HP. Over on the mid side, Pota 2 is going to get caught. Young G will be able to acquire that kill. Gohan coming in with the Aghanim Scepter, and now this is truly when the test is going to begin for Veroja, because up until this point, all of the kills they were able to get, they're all fine, they're all good to keep the game a bit static, but the biggest question to answer will be how to maintain the tempo, or even how to counter out the tempo coming in from this Beastmaster.
Yeah, and Beastmaster has online and he show up in the mid lane, get a good kill on the Konka with the first scepter reveal. That's a really good movement. Once we hit the item power spike, he instantly used it to get more advantage by getting a kill on the strongest hero on the Radiant team, which is the Konka. Really good movement, really good play from Aizen. And also meanwhile, they also lost his Centaur. It's a trade-off, but it's a good trade for Sharq squad by killing the Konka. And Blink is online too for Beastmaster, so now they're good to go again with the next draw, which is gonna up in 5 seconds. They can keep farming with Beastmaster, or they can just make another move to the other side to get a kill with the Raw. They also have Static Storm up on the Disruptor.
Static Storm plus the Phoenix Egg that's also off of cooldown now.
Yeah.
I don't quite honestly I don't think that Veroja can fight against these ultimates, especially with the Beastmaster having had such a good game.
Yeah, right now they can just play with Konka, just play with the Ghost Ship, because Timbersaw and Ranger, both of these two heroes still need more item, 1 or 2 more item, to be stronger. And this is the Sharq squad timing.
Young G.
He's building the pipe this game, which is okay against Konka, against the support. Like both of the Veroja support, they mostly do magical damage. Oh, there's kind of initiation.
Yeah, I mean the Wind Ranger is dead. I feel like anyone that gets gone on is just going to be dead. Rather, there's a Stampede committed. Juju was able to get the kill on Cassie, but CJ will be the trade. And even Juju is going to be brought back by the Glimpse. So 3 kills for the side of Sharq squad. And is Gohan to end up with a double kill.
Yeah. And now they walk straight into the pit. With the Drama Slump, should be a pretty easy Roshan.
Vomi
sure if
is here, and so is Pota. And the Beastmaster, he has to get back. He was a bit too... I suppose he got a bit too ahead of himself there. He didn't have the rest of his team nearby to help him take this Roshan. As Jollibee, he sees Pota. There's an Observer Ward right underneath that Konka. They will spot it out. They should be able to take the Observer Ward out. However, the Fire Spirit actually caught CJ, so he's going to have difficulty actually taking out that Observer Ward. Even Pota is going to come in. They will finally take out that ward, thanks to Buhao. But how? What do you do right now if you're Veroja? Like, what's your next move?
Under attack.
They need to wait for the Timber Saw or maybe Ranger to join the fight or join the smoke gang. And they need to move as a 3 or 4 man squad to try to kill the Beastmaster and delay the tempo from Sharq squad or the Blade Mill.
Glimpse is gonna bring Pota back, but he actually. Oh wow, that was actually a great play. He X-marked himself
Yeah.
before the glimpse, got glimpse back, and then X-marked himself back. He glimpsed the glimpse.
Yeah, that's the counter, the traditional counter to the glimpse with the X mark.
And now he will glimpse back the Centaur. But there is
Oh.
going to be an egg that comes out. Mystic Flare damage not going to be enough. Now Yona comes in with those boots of travel. The poison attacks, they are going to overwhelm the Kunkka. He will go down as Womi does decide to make his entry. Takes out Yongji. Wants to go after Yona, but needs to be careful. There is a Beastmaster nearby.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling the Gohan will not hesitate to initiate in.
Beastmaster is so close to his BKB. He's gonna get a 20-minute BKB blink and scepter. Oh, he's thinking about jumping.
He's gonna go for it. Roar planted down on top of Womi. Womi will be able to Timber Chain away, and there's another full duration freezing field on top of Sharq Squad. They will lose Gohan. Womi is doing pretty fine. He has that chakram coming in, and he'll be able to Timber Chain away. Even the Phoenix tried to go in, but Cassie will go down too. Viper disengaged from that position, but that was a big blunder. I mean, it's these freezing fields. It's the broken hands of CJ somehow being able to just outplay the other side.
Yeah, and the Timber Saw, the Grandmaster comes into play. Get 2 kill, and the Chakram, it was right on top of Beastmaster, and he was very low HP, getting slow by the freezing field. So he takes so much pure damage from the Chakram just now. He couldn't move at all. Without the BKB, he cannot run out of the Chakram, and he dies right there. That's a pretty good fight for Timber Saw. I think get 2 big kills right there and generate and get quite a lot of gold from that fight. But end up dying at the end to the glimpse damage. A bit unfortunate. But still, Timber Saw shows us how strong is the hero in the last fight.
I mean,
And
he was
once you
able
get
to
more
buy out, right, for the Blink Dagger, so it's not that bad
Yeah.
for the Timber Saw.
Yeah, he didn't lose much gold in that fight.
And now with the Blink Dagger, he should be able to make the space. I mean, I do see a way, right? If you're able to frontline for your Wind Ranger, you have a Mjolnir on Boo House, so the Wind Ranger honestly does deal quite a lot of damage. So if you're able to build up that space in those team fights, that buffer, you can potentially fight back. As right now, you still don't have a BKB on Gohan. They will initiate on top of him. Sharq Squad, that's their one hope to stay in the upper bracket, and they need to protect their Beastmaster.
Yeah, that's a good kill. Now there's no Beastmaster for 40 seconds. Just nice. Tormentor is up on the top side. And that's a really good smoke play from Veroja. Get one of the best kill, and they also get the objective here on the top Tormentor.
It's also a really good Tormentor game. I mean, or rather a Shard, you know,
Yeah.
Skywrath Mage or Crystal Maiden, both of them will be happy with the Shard. You have the Crystal Clone now up for the Crystal Maiden. And, oh, man.
Yeah, one of the
CJ's
best
impact.
shots for the... Oh,
Mid lane? Buhao? I mean, has the haste
Not
rune, but
actually
won't
the-
be able to run very far.
okay. Looks like he went a bit too far in the mid lane.
And it is, the kills on the Beastmaster seem a lot more impactful than the kills on the Wind Ranger, even though both of them are the carries here. It feels like Womi is
Yeah.
carrying, or kind of has all of the pressure here to maintain the state of the game for his team.
Yeah. Once he got the Kaya Yasha and he joined fight, now he has Blink. He should be more capable joining all this fight right now by jumping in and out. The
Oh,
Timber
Ghost Ship
Chain
Torrent
and-
is going to be sent out as a 3-man Ghost Ship, but does not
People
have
coming.
much follow-up coming in. Now the counter initiation is going to take place with that Stampede. CJ once again holding that high ground, but it was actually a glimpse, a beautiful glimpse by Jollibee after the BKB timing. But now Womi comes in to fight back. Roared down by Gohan though, as Buhao is there too with the focus fire, but unable to cut through Gohan. He should be still able to take him out, so the Aegis does pop, but it's that kinetic fence coming in by Jollibee actually holding Buhao back. it is the first time I've ever seen the kinetic fence actually be useful.
Yeah, it's a really good use of the fence. He also used it on the stair, which is perfectly blocking the hero for from running away. Even with the beautiful ghost ship into the pit, but he like half-second late. If the ghost ship is half-second early, maybe he will be able to grab the Aegis. Also, like there's no follow-up after the ghost ship's done. If Timbersaw is a bit closer, maybe they can kill 1 or 2 hero. And also the Gleams, it was perfect time too. I'm not sure if Konka Xbox was on cooldown or not, but the Gleam sent the Konka into the pit after BKB duration end, and that fight is pretty good for Sharq squad. Even they lost the Aegis, but still they get quite a lot of gold and experience in that fight.
A 3,000 lead now up for them. It kind of always felt like this lead build-up was going to be inevitable, considering you have a Beastmaster that has been doing so well. So sure, they did take him down twice, but it's kind of similar in the sense that in that previous game, those kills don't give you the lead. It only slows down the other side from building up their lead. But how are they supposed to stop them? Buhao is going for a defensive item. It is going to be that Lincoln Sphere, so he's not going to be able to amp up his farm. Timbersaw is going for a BKB too. Oh, Buhao, he's dead. There's no way out.
Oh no.
No way out against anyone that gets roared. Maybe Vomi can survive, but even that is going to be a bit of a question mark.
Oh, CJ trying to go for the solo play here.
I'm not sure if CJ will be able to do this, but does unleash that freezing field. Oh, actually, CJ was able to acquire at least one objective that was forcing out that BKB.
Okay. Freezing field trade for the BKB. Not so bad. Not so bad. I'll call that a win for CJ.
For CJ, right?
losing...
Not for Veroja.
Oh.
I don't think Stampede's gonna do much. Oh no, Womi? He got glimpsed back. I kind of feel...
He's coming back.
Oh wow!
Very cool.
Was that a timber? And was that a timber chain from all?
Yeah, that's.
Oh wow!
That's a well-timed timber chain.
A Guinness record for the longest timber chain, at least as far as I've seen. Jollibee is going to be brought back into the ghost ship. Vomi will go in, but the electromagnetic repulsion, it buys Jollibee some space. Unfortunately, not enough space. Is that wood? Wood is an insulator for electricity, I believe.
Okay, good play from Vomi, the Grandmaster timber chain to counter the well-timed timber chain to counter the Gleams. Without that, they might not be able to kill the Disruptor just now. And maybe they need more time still for Veroja. Ranger, without the Lincoln, or maybe the BKB, it's kind of hard for him to survive in the fight. When the carry just die to 1 or 2 spell, we know that they are not ready. They're not ready to fight. One raw or maybe glimpse into the select song. Buhao will just die in the team fight. At least he will die like the first or he should be the first or second hero to die in the team fight. If he got
my question is, Yuheng, he's going for the Lincoln Sphere. Is he ever going to be ready? Like, when will we see this Wind Ranger actually be able to contest Veroja?
Lincoln Sphere is not enough. Just Lincoln Sphere is not enough, I think. Because there's still a lot of way to break it. And it's still kind of vulnerable without the BKB. There's still a lot of magical spell and damage. Like Viper Strike is still a pretty good spell to counter to deal with the Wind Ranger. Maybe you need like one more item after Lincoln. Oh, Timbersaw?
Vomi almost got that egg down, but now Gohan will go in. He sees Buhao, will roar him down. Hoofstomp is going to come in as the follow-up, and for Veroja, they will have to disengage. Ghost Ship, though, is being sent out, and it seems like they want to force out at least a few more spells, will force out that Stampede, and Veroja, I mean, they now do have to get back.
Yeah, again, Ranger is not ready. Need 2 more items. Lincoln plus 1 more. The blink is good, but he cannot be the first one to go in first. They need Konka or Timbersaw to be the one that going in first to create the distraction and create the space for Ranger to enter the fight. But it's not easy to do because they're still kind of vulnerable on Konka and Timbersaw. They might die to like 1 or 2 spell too. Like there's a Shiwa on Beastmaster, so he's gonna amp up all his damage from the raw, from the Drama Storm.
And also the all of the magical damage from his team. The Static Storm.
Yeah. Oh, CJ.
Egg. CJ is there looking for an opening. But Sharq Squad, they've already found their opening. CJ, they will be able to acquire a kill on Jollibee at the very... Oh, again, it's a long-range timber chain. He's coming in from afar.
Okay, this
Veroja,
is a good one.
they do re-engage, and Young G is actually in a compromised position. There's no Stampede available, so they will lose their Centaur. And Yona, he dove in a bit too deep. Ghost Ship is going to come down on top of the Viper. Sharq Squad making a massive error in judgment as they lose their Phoenix too. Once again, a case of deja vu as, oh no, this cannot happen. Gohan will be able to teleport away. So that would have, oh no,
He got X-Mark.
the X-Mark from Podo. Oh man, the outplay is coming in from Womi and the Kunkka. They are holding this team together. I didn't even see the X mark there on the ground.
Yeah, I don't see it too, but I think that's the only way that Kunkka Beastmaster was there. Yeah,
And
I think the X mark
are they
duration
back?
outlasts the BKB duration.
Is under attack.
And that's something that even Jollibee has been using to get his glimpses down. Just glimpse someone after as your BKB is ending. And since the BKB has been changed, I believe a few patches ago, where the debuff still applies, it just won't have any effect. But then debuffs that outlast your BKB, they'll still affect you after your BKB runs out. So, you know, the glimpse, if it's far enough, can outlast your BKBs, particularly as these BKBs now, they're going to be going down to those, 7 seconds or 6 seconds. So very well done by Veroja. For the first time in this game, they actually had the lead in their favor. And speaking of Shivas, Vomi will have one of his own.
Yeah, that's right. Very good explanation on the about the interaction of BKB against all this spell. And now, like you say, the Shiva online soon on Timber. It's gonna be harder for the Dire hero to survive against the pure damage from Timber. And these two previous fight, Timber saw with the long range chain to counter the glimpse, and that surprise. I think that surprised Sharq Squad to take that to lose that fight too because of the long range chain. Oh,
Jollibee gets taken out. Gohan will activate the BKB and go all in towards Juju, but needs to be careful because there could be a possible re-engagement. Buhao does not have the Blink Dagger, so it seems like they don't want to go in. Yona will make his way here, though. It's actually going to be Buhao who gets hit by that hoof jump way too far forward for Veroja, and they will lose their carry. Vomi is going to be trying to make his way out. Won't be getting glimpsed back. Jollibee does not have the vision on that Timber. And he doesn't have the Aghanim shard either. In fact, Vomi will actually go back in. Jollibee is going to get sent up into the air, and the Chakram is going to be enough. It's these two players, just like Kunkka and that Timbersaw, holding this game together. But I have to say, Buhao, he needs to really pick up the pace because his impact has been pretty much lackluster this entire game. Youngji
is dying.
Centaur, I have a feeling, is already dead. Yuhang is that Phoenix egg that is also going to be in trouble. 4 heroes on top of him, but Gohan's going to come in with that roar. Buy enough time for Cassie to come out with the egg pop. And it's now going to be Veroja on the retreat. However, they caught Gohan after the BKB timing. It does seem like there's a lot of vulnerabilities, a lot of weaknesses for both teams that they are looking to exploit, that they are hoping to break through, and they are constantly able to find it. But Veroja, I have a feeling they're getting a bit more. They're going to be able to glimpse back Yona, but Pota is so low in his HP, I doubt he wants to go forward. He's even barely able to take out that creep wave.
Oh, the Kunkka couldn't get the light click off with the Silver Age Shadow Walk debuff, maybe because of the attack speed slow from the Viper passive. But if not, maybe with the slow from the Silver Age, they might be able to get the kill on Viper because Ranger was nearby. If you follow up with a good Shackle shot or something, they might be able to kill the Viper. And in the last fight in the middle, the Raw pushing the hero away from the egg, and that keep the Phoenix alive. But they also like Beastmaster also put himself in a very awkward position with no BKB getting caught by the X mark. And after all the BKB used in the team fight. Also the duration lower, and that's what made Kunkka stronger in the later game because of the long range control X mark, long duration X mark. It's pretty strong against all those heroes that has no spell immunity.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Yuheng, but you can break the Beastmaster with the Silver Edge. His Drums of Slum,
Yes.
his Aghanim Scepter.
I don't think he. Okay, I think the interaction is you can break it, but it won't stop him from the charges he has. You will still do the damage and heal, but I think it will stop Beastmaster from getting new charges during the break duration.
Okay.
I think that's the interaction between the break and the Beastmaster passive.
The inner beast attack speed will definitely be broken though, I assume. So
Yeah.
the attack
it's innate.
speed isn't going to be there for the Beastmaster. And he's actually gone for that Dagon. So maybe getting a bit too ahead of himself there, because I'm not sure about this Dagon build. You will need to be able to contest against Buhao sooner or later. As
They're
he
trying
does
to
have
poke
his
at
Moon
the
Dagger now.
Roche.
I mean, Vomi has that Shiva's Guard. However, I mean, I would like to think that Sharq Squad is stronger in that Roche Pit fight. They have so many big ultimates. Womi is going to go in, but he has that X mark, so he'll be able to make his way back, but he has dealt in so much damage. Meanwhile, it's going to be Gohan who will initiate on top of the Kunkka, or rather CJ. They aren't able to take anyone down, though CJ still going on strong, will be alive a little while longer. They'll be able to glimpse for that back, but he will have that reverse glimpse. Unfortunately, Jollibee this time around will be able to outplay the Kunkka by dropping down that Static Storm, and it's now Buhao who will go in with that focus fire and that Shackle Shot. Is it going to be enough damage? His Wind Run is wearing away. It's going to come down to the wire, but he's able to get the job done, and in fact, able to take out the Disruptor. That's an entire team wipe.
Wow. And he still has the Aegis. It's a steal.
Oh
Really
no.
just the one that had with the Aegis. Even he die, he will respond with full HP. But it's kind of impressive. He killed both of them before he die. If he die before both of them die, he might not be able to kill the Beastmaster right there. And
It's a
Buhao-
20% chance, right? It's a 20% chance to win that fight.
Yeah. And they killed 5 heroes. The fight started with let me recall the fight. The fight started with Kunkka. X marked the Timbersaw, allowed the Timbersaw to jump in to poke, and he dropped the Centaur to 50% HP. And Centaur has no BKB, so he has no way that he could survive against the spell damage from Veroja. And because of that, they start the fight with Centaur 50% HP. And they almost start the fight with half less hero. And also Villager is not getting focus in the fight. That's why he's able to do all the things that carries that do. And finally, Buhao showed us redeem himself in that fight after all the all the feeding in the previous 30 minutes. Now he's back to the game.
And they, because they didn't target the Wind Ranger, they targeted the Kunkka who had already thrown out his ghost ship. So he was receiving that Admiral's Rum buff. He wasn't taking in as much damage. He was able to stay alive a little while longer. And Womi was decimating Sharq Squad over on that backline. It is so surprising that given all of these big ultimates, Veroja are playing it in a way that they're not getting caught by these big spells. I mean, we haven't seen a Static Storm and an Egg actually come out in one place together. Haven't seen a Roar being used to isolate a target in so long, at least successfully to the point where you can follow up the rest of the team fight with. Veroja are playing a super darn well, and I mean, they have an 11,000 lead right now. Is Sharq Squad, are they really 11,000 behind? Like, does it feel that way? Or because in my mind, they're always just one good team fight away from wiping out Veroja.
I do feel like they are really behind on Sharq Squad because they have no BKB on Viper. They have no refresher on Beastmaster, so he only has to depend on the 6-second duration window to kill someone or to use it to escape. He can't have he only have one way. It's either he use it jump in to kill someone or he use it to run. Without the refresher, it's kind of hard for Beastmaster to shine in this stage of the game. He need a double roll and double BKB in order to win the team fight.
Womi?
And look at all this spell damage.
Yeah,
If there's no BKB on all the Sharq squad hero, they would take so much damage from Team Assault.
and there's a full
Also the
9-second
control.
BKB on Buhao, right? So while everyone else's BKB, they're down to 7-6 seconds. Buhao has a full duration one.
Yep.
He's probably going to get Glimpse back here, so might need to activate his BKB. In fact, no, decides to get Glimpse back. It's actually going to be a backstab coming in by Vomi. He takes out that Disruptor. Now Vomi activates his BKB. It might actually be a very good fight for Veroja, but the egg does come out. Ghost Ship is not really going to land, and Buhao's first BKB use not really going to be successful. But Vomi, he goes back in alongside CJ. It's that freezing field. It's again a full duration one, and Sharq Squad will melt.
Wow, the injured hand freezing field from CJ.
Oh man, he should injure his other hand too if he's playing like this.
The injured hand amplify his power by 50%. If he injured the other one, he get 100%. Wow.
Oh man,
and that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that fight started with Ranger position himself at the front line because he has 2 life with the Aegis. And Vomi found the opening to jump in to burst down the Disruptor before he casts any big spell. And also they kite the egg really well. Like all their hero, they know how to take the fight. Once they pop the egg, they just all of them just stay away from the from the egg radius, and then re-engage after the egg pop. And CJ jumped back in with a big freezing field at the back line. It was perfect teamfight execution for Veroja.
No buybacks, or rather, there are a lot of buybacks, but if you buy back into this because of how spammable all of these spells are,
Vomi?
he's gonna get Glimpse back. Now I feel like they're just playing around. Now it's like it's calm for Veroja. They're just now having fun.
Yeah. Oh, Buhao is under the tier 4 by himself.
Oh,
okay,
CJ,
he's out.
CJ has a BKB. Oh,
Wait.
like it's already so difficult for Sharq Squad to play against CJ's freezing field. But now with this BKB, CJ will essentially have the full duration on it, guaranteed.
Yeah, and there's only Raw that could cancel the freezing field, or maybe the egg stun. There's only 2 ways to stop the BKB freezing field.
And a lot of it also, in my opinion, comes down to Gohan making this Dagon. Not only that, he's upgrading it. It's level 4 right now.
Oh.
So it's like 7,000 to 8,000 gold just on... I don't know. I don't know what to call the Dagon. Is it a useless item? Is it a... it kind of feels like it has no impact.
I see the idea. You want to get the spell lifesteal, also the burst potential. Jump in, roll into like Shiva and Dagon, just trying to burst someone down with that combo. But I feel like maybe Refresher would be better. I don't know. I might be wrong. But so far it's not working out in this game for Gohan.
Definitely an erroneous build or a risky one that
Yeah.
has not paid out its reward.
Ooh. They caught Centaur down there. Cancel his TP.
And Centaur will just be focus fire down. I mean, Buhao now can withstand that retaliate, will be able to take out Yongji. Jollibee will actually buy back into this, but they don't have 2 of their heroes here. The Phoenix does have a buyback, so does Yongji. But again, Vomi, every single time he initiates in, he's able to rip apart this lineup. He will actually go back in. And Gohan does not have a BKB any longer. All 3 heroes buying back in this. They will re-initiate on top of that Kunkka. But Pota will be forced off out, and the rest of Veroja will descend upon Sharq Squad. They will start things off by taking out both the Centaur as well as the Beastmaster. Buyback on the Viper to do whatever he can, but it will not be enough. Ackerman or Yongji will call GG, and it will be Veroja who will sweep Sharq Squad under the rug, send them down to the lower brackets, and once again, your defending champions at Lunar Snake Trophy will reach the grand final spot.
Impressive. Amazing performance from Veroja. There we go. We have the Lunar Snake Lunar Trophy Season 6 grand finalist. Veroja. It's the first one that make it to the grand final.
Yeah, very impressive run.
Yes.
Oh man, I did not expect that, Yuheng. I really thought that with the way that Gohan was playing the game, with how far ahead the Beastmaster was, he would have been able to carry this game, considering that Buha was having such a rough time.
Yeah, I think it could be the reason why like Beastmaster fall off in the mid game is because of his BKB duration. His BKB once the BKB duration get shorter, and he's kind of vulnerable to all this spell damage, especially X mark. He's very vulnerable to the X mark if he got caught when he's about to disengage from the fight without BKB. He just got caught, and then like Veroja hero, they just follow up from follow up with the spell from a distance, like X mark into Toland, into Timbersaw, like long range Chakram, Twisted Chakram damage, and then they just somehow kill Beastmaster like twice or 3 times, and then he just slowly fall off in this game, and that's where Veroja slowly coming back into this game, and then they bought enough time for Buhao Ranger carry to come online, and somehow they're 2-0 against Sharq Squad in this upper bracket semi-final. Impressive.
Impressive indeed. For Veroja, again, guaranteeing themselves a grand final spot. Certainly a team on the up and up. Can't wait to see more of them. Can't wait to see more of some of the other teams out here at Lunar State Trophy. Even the ones that, have been eliminated so far, and quite a few of them have. This was a new tournament format at Lunar State Trophy with 10 teams coming in instead of the previous 8. You had 2 groups as well. So a lot more players participating. For now, guys, this is going to be it, but we still have 2 more series left. We are nearing the end of the tournament. We have the lower bracket finals. And I actually know, wait, let me actually take a look at the...
It's gonna be Custom, is it? Versus...
Should be against...
Sharq Squad.
Sharq Squad, yeah. So, Carsens versus Sharq Squad in the lower bracket final. Carsens, again, they beat Roar Gaming. It did go to that 3rd game, but Carsens coming in with a tier 1 player. Well, some of these players could be considered tier 1 in terms of skill level, but Jokum has an established tier 1 record. Certainly wants to get Carsens up there alongside them. Perhaps they can make it work. They will have to get through Sharq Squad first. And Sharq Squad, they did make it very far into the tournament, and in fact dropped Carsens down to the lower brackets in a 2-0 clean sweep. So they were definitely the stronger team against Carsens. Can they do it again? A lot of questions, a lot of excitement. But for now, I will be signing out. We will be signing out, and we hope to see all of you tomorrow.